So back here at home, Marine veteran Daniel Penny has been cleared of all charges connected to the death of Jordan Neely on a New York City subway. But now some in the city want an investigation into how the Manhattan DA's office handled the case. New York City Councilwoman Vickie Paladino is urging the incoming Trump administration to launch a federal civil rights probe into the case, and she joins me now. Councilwoman, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So first of all, what was your initial reaction when this verdict came out yesterday?
I think everybody just went, whew. It was over. It was done. It was clear what we thought on Friday, that how many really were hung in this jury, how many were actually baffled by the verdict. But I also said they're going to give them the weekend. So over this weekend, they knew that they were sent in to convict him no matter what. And I think there were a lot of people on Friday who knew that, who sat on the jury. And I think that's why it came back as quick as it did.
Well, police didn't arrest him after interviewing him for 10 days because they saw what the jury ultimately decided, that Daniel Penny is an innocent man. And that's where your call for the incoming Trump administration to launch a federal civil rights probe into the Manhattan D.A. So tell us about that.
Well, it's really simple. I mean, the Manhattan D.A. has made this racial. We have seen what A.G. Bragg has been capable and has tried to pursue. And I think between Trump and now this is the icing on the cake with Penny, convicted at any cost. They make it a vendetta. He is definitely political. This is politicized. And I think he needs to be investigated. I think the whole DA's office in Manhattan needs to be investigated.
And you just think about what Daniel Penny's life is going to be like moving forward. There were protests outside the courtroom yesterday. Take a listen to this. This is the co-founder of Black Lives Matter in New York. And listen to what he said. Watch this.
Just like everybody else seeks justice on their own, just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
So he was calling for black vigilantes to avenge Jordan Neely's death. I mean, this is what Alvin Bragg in this case did to Daniel Penny. Now he has to fear for his life.
Oh, yes. The man you just saw speaking, listen, look how many people were around him. What do you have, 5, 10? BLM, in my opinion, is just about washed up. Their message is done. Everybody, you know, this election with Trump showed us, and us as New Yorkers, I was born and raised here, you know, this racism that they've tried to promote and did through 2020 when de Blasio was mayor and they all rose up. This is now dying because people are really starting to see right from wrong. And this jury made it very, very clear. But Alvin Bragg is on a mission, as was that ADA who was despicable. How many times did they try to make this into a race issue by referring to Daniel in the courtroom as a white man?
No.
This is not a white or a black issue. Not at all. This was a right and a wrong issue.
Yeah, when there were black subway riders who were interviewed afterward and said, thank God Daniel Penny stepped in. And some of the people who also held Jordan Neely down were African-American as well. You're right. This isn't about race.
No, it has nothing to do with safety. That's correct, 100%.
Yeah, so like you said, we just heard from one Black Lives Matter person, violent reaction there, but the reaction of few, not the many. New York Times op-ed titled, Daniel Penny got justice, now give DA Alvin Bragg the boot. Sounds like you agree with that.
Oh my. Well, going forward, you know, from the start, he laid it all out. Because we did not come into him blind. Tom Caniff ran against him in the last election. Can you imagine the different Manhattan we'd be living in if DA Bragg was there?
Got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.